Because what I was going to ask just as a discussion point on the end of this is for you personally, there is that balancing act as a leader of knowing when to push and knowing when not to push, because there are times where you can, with the best intentions, push and it can be damaging if you're not careful.
Yes, absolutely. People are more capable than they themselves know. Not what other people expect them. They themselves, people are much more capable, but because of external sort of elements and such, it limits our thought process of what we can actually achieve. It takes good leadership to, exactly to your point, identify areas of improvement and that potential, but expose them to an extent that it doesn't break them. Because when you grow, it's exactly like you said earlier, it's like the gym. You go to the gym. If you start doing 300 reps on your first day of gym, you're going to tear your muscle. So you got to
you will actually hurt yourself.
You will hurt yourself. Little by little, the leader has to expose the person so that the muscle gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And then they get to the point that they're actually on their own and they're sort of growing. That's leadership, in my opinion.
Well, and I think going back to, because some of the conversations, especially right now, as artificial intelligence is coming onto the space and everybody's wondering like, well, what can machines do and what can machines not, type of a thing. But some of these things that you're talking about is where, as I look at it, great leadership is uniquely positioned to thrive in the future that's ahead of us if we do it right on some of these things we're talking about, which even just the stories you shared, you couldn't have had that and you wouldn't know how far, we're using this gym analogy again, but that individual that you pushed who ultimately went to law school and crushed it, you wouldn't have known whether you were tearing the muscle fiber in a positive way or you were tearing a ligament by overstraining it, had you not taken the time to get to know them and where they were and all of that, so that exposure to, hey, here's a development opportunity for you, wasn't met with, this is too much. It's pushing me past the breaking point. And everyone, I'm sure she had her stories as to why she believed this self-persistent belief of like, I can't do all this. And everybody right now, I did a YouTube video about this last week, I think, on the fact everybody is carrying some sort of baggage along with them that, to your point, they may not even be aware they're carrying it.
Totally. Absolutely. I see AI as a tool. I see it as an incredible leap in human technological innovation, and I see it as a tool. But I also think that what AI will do when it's finally implemented to the point that it becomes embedded with our lives without us even knowing it, it will reawaken humanity's need to connect to humanity. It will reawaken the need that we as human beings must be around other human beings, must interact with other human beings, and the importance of that, not only from a social standpoint, from a creative standpoint, from a humanistic standpoint, is absolutely necessary. But going back to what you said with respect to, the human condition of different people, I was at a home improvement store. You have a 50% chance of guessing which one it is. I mean, there's two major ones.
Orange or blue? Which one was it, Arash?
Let's just say it was more towards the orangish tint, if you will. So I went up to return a product, and before I went up to the line, I greeted the person. I said, "Hi, how are you?" And it was as if I was being welcomed by my prison warden or something like that. She was very, very cold and without me jumping to the conclusions as to, well, I'm the customer. Why is this happening? How can she do this to me? I put myself in her shoes. She must be going through something. There must be some difficulties in her life. She is also a human being. She has probably family members. Maybe somebody's ill. Maybe she's ill. Who knows? I think in the end, what's really important is as technological innovation occurs, we don't forget that first we are human and we need to understand and connect to humanity. Leads to good leadership, leads to good decisions as sort of sovereign nations when you think about humans. And then every time that you don't, it just doesn't end well.